Welcome back to Fantasy Sports Today here on SportsGrid. I'm Craig Mish along with George Kurtz with you here on the show as we dive into the wide receivers, some props here on the show. Of course, game day coming Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern for a lot of you. Now, let's dive into some players, maybe a couple under the radar. FanDuel's got so many props. DraftKings has so many props available. I've never seen this before from some of these anonymous players. But we'll start off with Greg Dortch. How did we get here, Sam? Starting off with Greg Dortch on the show, top of the hour. 28.5 receiving yards is his wide receiver prop. Dortch is someone who looked really good in the preseason and at times really good last year. And George, he can have one really big catch and go over this as well. Are you buying in on Dortch with his new running mate, Marvin Harrison Jr.?
Well, once again, we know Harrison's going to get all the love, right? Maybe not love, all the hate from defenses, right? Going to get a lot of the coverage going to be rolled his way. Trey McBride, right? We like what he can do at tight end, right? He's going to get some coverage and some defensive pressure. Dortch becomes an afterthought, right? Sort of an afterthought here. I can tell you this. I think Sunday's a high-scoring game between these two teams, right? I think points are going to get up on the board. He better. All right, for the Cardinals to have any chance in this game, he better get over that total here. And this is the great thing about props, by the way. I am much better at props than at game predictions. All right, the money line or totals, or whatever. Props because you just said it, there's so many of them for every game. You're bound to find one you really like. This has to hit here, whether it's a reception total or maybe it's a yardage total, touchdowns, whatever it might be here. Bottom line is, yes, I do think that he gets the over here. I think he has to for Arizona to have any chance, and they're going to have to put the ball in the air a lot. Arizona doesn't have much of a defense, by the way. All right, they're going to give up points. Murray's going to have to throw the football.
Yeah, and Dortch, by the way, not a bad pivot this week if you're missing Chase, missing Higgins, somebody like that. That could be a name that you have somewhere on your roster that you could throw in potentially, or maybe even pick up. All right, Tyreek Hill, one of the bigger numbers on the board here. 97.5 in game one, George. 97.5 yards, minus 113. Oof, I could see it. I could see 200. But, man, this feels really high for week one, no?
It's incredibly high. I can't take this. Even like you said, would it shock if he goes to 200? No. He maybe gets it easy, but I can't do it. I just can't here. Once again, you prorate those numbers. That means you're saying he's getting 1,650 yards this season. All right. 49 actually. So no, I'm not going to place a prop on this, a prop bet. Once again, you can find others you like more. I'm not saying he won't. I think this game, once again, could be a track meet between these two teams. Could be a lot of points on the board here. But to say he's going to get over that number, in my mind, Tyreek Hill was the number one wide receiver in fantasy coming in because CeeDee Lamb had the holdout for a while. So I don't trust that in the beginning here. So I love Tyreek. I have him on my home league fantasy team, the league I care about the most. And I want a big week, but I'm not going to bet on it.
Yeah, I agree with you there. All right, so here's one that's probably a watch, wait, and see for me. Ladd McConkey of the Chargers, 37.5 receiving yards, total of 114. The Chargers do not have Keenan Allen this year, folks, if you're just waking up. They do not have Mike Williams if you're just waking up. They have Ladd McConkey, though, George. I mean, isn't Ladd McConkey giving you 5 for like 50 this week or 4 for 40 something, right? Like he's going to go over this, no?
What was your first sentence? Wait and see. Yeah, that's pretty good. I like that. I'm going with that. No, I'm not taking that. I don't know what's going to happen with this passing offense here. I mean, I just don't. You're playing Denver. Patrick Surtain just signed a big contract earlier this week, right? Getting $1 gazillion. Not that he's going to be traveling with McConkey. He won't. But McConkey will see, a lot of them. And he ain't catching any passes on Surtain, so I don't see that. No, I'll pass. Yeah, there's gonna be something else I can find that I like better. But if he doesn't get it, then things did not go well for the Chargers at all. As I realize now, they're not even playing Denver, so it's not Surtain. It is the Raiders, which actually I do like a little better now that I think about it. But still, there'll be things I like better here. I'm not gonna. I think the Raiders are a mess, but I'm not taking this.
Yeah, I would agree. All right, I want to watch it though. I'm curious. All right, so let's get to now Tank Dell, the wide receiver of the Houston Texans. He's just one of a group of really strong wide receivers here. And the numbers, this feels high too, George, I must say. 52.5 for Tank Dell. You know what I would ask, George? Now, I don't have any data to back this up. How many times did Tank Dell going into a week have a wide receiving yards prop of over 50? in a game in a game last year. I'm going to say not a lot. 52.5 minus 113.
My problem is I think Tank Dell's great. Love him. But Dell, Diggs, Collins, you got Mixon there, Schultz. There's a lot of mouths to feed. Here. Indianapolis is a decent defense here. I think he probably gets over this. For some reason, Craig, I like his touchdown prop more. I think he gets it in the end zone. So it's a gut feel thing. I have nothing, like I said, nothing to back this or tell you why. It's a gut feel. I think he has a better chance to get a touchdown. I won't take this, not at minus 113 anyway, because I just don't know. I think there will be a game for Diggs because they're going to want to get him involved right away to keep him quiet, keep his mouth shut, and stop complaining there. So no, I'm going to stay away from Dell.
Now let's go to Puka Nacua, who missed the preseason with injury. 73.5 is his receiving yards. George, I went into my drafts. I don't know if you felt this way, sort of pivoting over from Puka to Cooper a little bit. His total is 73.5 over on the FanDuel Sportsbook. It's one game though. Like I don't. Anything can certainly happen in one game, but I don't know how healthy he is, George. Like the practice reports, what have they said? Is he 100%, 80%?
He's going to play, right? Doesn't really help us any. Could be 80% in playing here. I didn't touch him in any leagues. Once again, he was going too early for me for the injury. He already has a knee injury. I think he's okay, but I don't think he's fine. I don't think he's 100% anywhere near it. So I didn't touch him. I don't touch Cooper McCup either, who went a little later than him, actually, because Cup is always hurt, right? There's going to be an injury at some point during the season where he's going to miss some games here. So I stayed away from both these guys here. 73.5, that's a lot. That's a lot here. Although I do think, once again, points are coming in this game. I think this is an over Sunday. I think Detroit's going to score. The Rams are going to have to throw the football as well. It is Stafford playing in Detroit, right, where he's played most of his career. So there's that too. He's going to want to put on a show. This is a game where we're going to see how my Sunday's going here. Do I need to make up some deficit here coming into this game? If I do, I can see myself taking this because I do think he gets it. I think this is a high scoring game with yardage for everybody here. But right now, no, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah. All right. Finally, Amon-Ra St. Brown. This is a high total, and I like it. I like Amon-Ra St. Brown. I think he's in line for a big game under the lights. 84.5 minus 114. George, a lot of people think that this guy is going to chase like 2,000 yards this year. That's probably optimistic on that side, but I do like the over here in game one for Amon-Ra St. Brown.
2,000, I don't think he's going to do that, but I think he's going to have a great season. All right. 2,000 is asking a lot. Even in a 17-game season, you got to average, 30 yards a game. So it's not the easiest thing to do by far. But that being said, they've got the running game to keep those safeties, keep them honest, right? They got to play a little close here. So they would need Jameson Williams to step up to be that guy, right? To be a true number two, to be Alvin Harper to Michael Irvin, that sort of thing. Jonathan Taylor to Jerry Rice. If he can do that, boy, then Amon-Ra St. Brown will have that monster season here. I kind of like this as well. All right, I think he gets there. I'm not doing it right now. Once again, it's going to be another.
I agree.
Let's see what happens here. The number is high, but I think I can't see this. I think this is a shootout, Greg. I think we had a great game Thursday, great game Friday. I think it's another great, fun game that we're going to enjoy Sunday night. Love this. I can't believe for the Detroit Lions game that they're going to be a really, really fun team to watch. Going to put up a lot of points. So yes, I lean yes, but we'll wait till Sunday evening to really pull a trigger on this one.
Yeah, I am. This is the one. I'm not an over guy. But I don't know. I just really – I don't even have Amon-Ra on any fantasy teams. I just feel like this is a guy that to me, that's where a 97 should come into play on this guy. Be right back.
What a chance it is for Adam Paxton and Victor Tingsham to pick up their first weekly titles. Adam Paxton, well, it's been the dream debut so far for him. For Victor Tingsham, he'll feel like this is a moment a little while coming. A place in the final up for grabs for one.
You can do it. Make that double 18 away for a place in the final.
Wesley Plaisir was beaten, knocked out by Mike Warburton in a last leg decider.
That is what they are playing for. They are playing for the trophy. They are playing for the big prize pot, and they are playing for a place in the £25,000 Champions Week.
97.
There is a point you feel that reality will surely kick in for Adam Paxton. He's here on debut. He watches the Super Series almost every single week. He was happy just to be playing in a group. This could be the leg that we talk about at the end of the night as being the one that changed the final, because Adam Paxton has just gone cold at the moment.
Bang on cue.
He doesn't just get two, he gets the lot.
Should take out the 16 out. If not, Mike's just behind him.
Shot on the fifth leg.
Can Paxton deliver one of the biggest moments of his career so far? He can. Double 12. What a moment that is from Adam Paxton. Mike Warburton was looking at 60 to win the match.
14.
Paxton, here's your moment. He approaches the hockey with confidence, with time, and delivers. Adam Paxton on debut. The boy, the fanboy, comes to the Super Series and wins.
Did George Kurtz infiltrate Sam's rundown this week? A lot of Ezekiel Elliott discussion here on the show. I don't. I know George doesn't even have a username and password for this, so not sure how it even showed up on our. We call it a rundown today. Basically, it's the things we're going to talk about. It's a website that we go to that shows us everything. You can't see it from me, but it's like right behind my camera, so it looks like I'm looking at George, but I'm really looking at the camera. George, I just go like this, so I block his face like that. Ezekiel Elliott, running back of the Dallas Cowboys, 30.5 rushing yards. This is his prop, George. Is this right? This does not look right. Is this right going into Sunday against Cleveland's defense is good. Okay. Isn't Ezekiel Elliott going to get 10 carries in this game? He can't get 3.1 rushing yards a game, George?
I mean, I'm not a Zeke believer anymore. All right, but I don't think this is so much about Zeke as it is about the Cleveland defense is damn good. All right, I think they're number one defense in the NFL. I think as I was talking with Sam Yarnell, producer behind the glass here, he brought up the Jets here, and I think at the end he had it right. If the Jets had Hassan Reddick, maybe they're the number one. But I don't know if their pass rush is going to be there. We know Cleveland with Myles Garrett, that pass rush will be there, and they're good defensive run stoppers as well. Remember the Cowboys starting two rookie offensive linemen, Guyton at left tackle and Beebe at center here. I don't see the Cowboys rushing. I think during my bro predictions, I didn't have the Cowboys rushing for 50 yards as a team, Craig. So, no, I don't think he gets it. I don't. I think this is a lot of second nines. I think it's going to be a problem with Dallas. Second nine, they're going to be putting in obvious passing situations. I think it's going to be an issue here. Like I said, I don't think Dalvin Cook plays this week, but I think after seeing what Dallas does on the ground this week, Dalvin Cook plays next week.
Christian McCaffrey's receiving yards, Monday Night Football, 37.5 is the total there. Really good number, I think, for FanDuel. This feels right about at the number. The under, is this right, Sam? Minus 120, a little extra juice there on the under? Okay. It's not that formidable, but the over is minus 110. I feel like this is a great number for me, George. I'm pass.
Looking at his, it's going by last year, mind you, but he hit this, looks like about 50-50. Looks like you're going about 50-50. But
good number.
Here's if you were looking early in the season last year, he didn't get it until week 4, and he only hit it once of the first 6 weeks. So once again, you're going by last year, all right? So maybe we shouldn't go by that. But he is banged up, right? He looked good in practice, but he's got the calf injury. I think he's being listed as questionable or limited participant. He's going to play on Monday night here. I think I'd go the under. I think I would. I don't think the Jets pass rush is going to be there Monday night. So I don't think they would look at oh my God, the escape out. They got to get the ball to McCaffrey because they got to get rid of it. I don't think they're going to have to do that. He may not be able to find Ayuk and Debo.
Right.
Secondary's good, Jets are good, but I don't think he's going to have to look for the outlet pass to McCaffrey. I lean the under. It's not a negative on McCaffrey. It's just that once again, last year, first 6 games, he only hit it once. So I'm going to take. I'm probably not betting this, mind you. I don't think I bet any McCaffrey unders all that often. You don't win money doing that. But I think if I had to, I'd probably lean under.
All right, so the next one, I think this is my favorite over of the week. I did this in my sitting bets segment, by the way, before the show. Zach Moss of the Cincinnati Bengals, 48.5 rushing yards. No T. Higgins. Maybe no Jamar Chase. I don't even care if Chase plays or not. You can't simply buy into the fact that New England's defense is so good that they're going to stop Cincinnati all day long. They're going to be on the field all day long. They're not going to play offense. I got to say, George, I like the over for Zach Moss here. This is not a lot of yards to get for the primary offensive weapon on the Cincinnati Bengals as of right now. I'm over 48.5.
I know where you're going with this, and I agree, by the way. All right. I like the over here as well, maybe even more than kind of, but I will bring up this. If Jamar Chase is out, on Sunday, T. Higgins is not playing. I'd be shocked if he plays. So I'm already assuming he's out. But if Jamar Chase is out as well, because he's not playing due to the contract thing. Really quick, can you name the wide receiver 3 on this team?
I can't.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Only reason I can, by the way, is
Carl
because
Pickens?
Carl Pickens. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's Eddie Brown.
I want to say it's Tyler Boyd, but I know that's not true.
No. They wish it was Tyler Boyd.
It was always Tyler Boyd for the last 5 years.
The only reason I know is that working last night on the show, I had to somebody mentioned, so I had to look up his name here. Andre Losivas. All right, which I think was Tom Vecchio. Andre Losivas. I've never heard of him. But Tom Vecchio brought up last night that he thinks he's a great overplay. Now, people think you should bet. Tom Vecchio thinks you should bet on him to get his over if these guys are out because there's no one else to throw the ball to. But that being said, if Jamar Chase is out, they're going to be 8, 9, 10, 12-man boxes to stop. Once again, I'm not going to trust the passing game at all here. So you may be looking at it's devil's advocate to keep that in mind here. But I got to agree with you. He has to get this over.
Yeah, I really, really like that over. And that's my favorite one of all the ones that we've gone through today. I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying that Zach Moss is going to run for 140. That I'm not going to say. But this guy, in my opinion, is getting at least 50-something yards on Sunday. I mean, against New England, this is the game plan. All right, Jahmyr Gibbs, much higher prop, by the way, than Moss, and nailed a lot of his props last year. Boy, he was a money-making guy for a lot of people last year. But now that the adjustment has been made, his prop is 59.5 rushing yards, minus 113. And he crushed most of his, if you remember, George, his props were in the 40s a lot last year because he played behind David Montgomery. But now there's this expectation that he's going to play a lot more, get a lot more yards. How about this? Week 1, though. Boy, it feels like a good number. I think I'll pass.
It's a high number. I'm looking at they did play the Rams last year, and he only had 43 yards catch. He only had 25 on the ground for whatever it's worth. That's an Aaron Donald team, though, so I don't know if we care about that. Completely different defense. He is banged up. Let's keep that in mind as well with the hamstring. He's going to play. Should be fine here. We all know he can get this in one run, right? He's explosive. One run, he can get it here. I mean, I like Gibbs a lot, but this is a high number. I'm not doing it either. Listen, they got Montgomery too. Is he going to get that many? What's his load going to be? Is he going to be the pass catcher, not the run guy? Yeah, it's a lot to ask for. I'll pass.
Yeah, and an injury too, factoring in the preseason too. Fair enough. All right, we'll hit the quarterback props coming up next. Jacoby Brissett, lowest quarterback prop on the board. The New England Patriots. Will he go over or under? Play next.
What a chance it is for Adam Paxton and Victor Tingsham to pick up their first weekly titles. Adam Paxton, well, it's been the dream debut so far for him. For Victor Tingsham, he'll feel like this is a moment a little while coming. A place in the final up for grabs for one.
You can do it. Make that double 18 away for a place in the final.
Wesley Plaisir was beaten, knocked out by Mike Warburton in a last leg decider.
Play. That is what they are playing for. They are playing for the trophy. They are playing for the big prize pot, and they are playing for a place in the £25,000 Champions Week.
97.
There is a point you feel that reality will surely kick in for Adam Paxton. He's here on debut. He watches the Super Series almost every single week. He was happy just to be playing in a group. This could be the leg that we talk about at the end of the night as being the one that changed the final, because Adam Paxton has just gone cold at the moment.
Bang on,
He doesn't just get two, he gets the lot.
Adam should take out the 16 out. If not, Mike's just behind him.
Shot on the fifth leg.
Can Paxton deliver one of the biggest moments of his career so far? He can. Double 12. What a moment that is from Adam Paxton. Mike Warburton was looking at 60 to win the match.
14.
Paxton, here's your moment. He approaches the hockey with confidence, with time, and delivers. Adam Paxton on debut. The boy, the fanboy, comes to the Super Series and wins.
Welcome back to Fantasy Sports Today here on SportsGrid. Time to take a look at some quarterback props here on this morning edition of FST. We'll start off with the Tennessee Titans and Will Levis. The Titans seem to be, George, one of those anonymous teams going into the season. We just really don't talk about them all that much. I wonder if there's any value on this. 238.5 is his quarterback prop going into Sunday. He's hit this at times. He's gone way over this, by the way, at times. I know Tennessee would like to run the ball, right, George? They'd like to run the ball with Tony Pollard. I don't know if they're going to be able to do it. New coach. This is not Vrabel anymore. Boy, I don't know. I mean, I got to go with more known quantities than I can with a Will Levis in game one. He may do it. I don't know. But to me, it's a pass.
Looking at last year, he played 8 games. He went over this total 3 times. So Chicago Bears are a good defense. DeAndre Hopkins is questionable at best, and that injury looks worse than we think for Hopkins, by the way. I'm not liking this. I'm not liking this at all here. I think the jury is out if Levis is actually a franchise quarterback or not. I'm not sure yet. I think they will get a lot of run out of Pollard and Spears on Sunday. Let these guys control the offense here. Listen, I don't expect much from Hopkins. And I'll tell you right now, if you have Hopkins on your roster, I'd sit him. I would not start him, assuming you can do better here. Ridley, we'll see what he can be his first year in this offense. By the way, here's Tyler Boyd. All right, so he could be your number 2 on Sunday. Treylon Burks looks like a big-time bust for the team here. No, I'm not liking the Titans much on Sunday at all. I don't see them being able to win any kind of shootout game, by the way. I think for them to win, it has to be sort of, once again, another 24-20 game, something like that, where they squeak it out, but defense plays well, and they keep Caleb Williams off the field here. No, I'd go the under here if I was going to bet it.
Under? Okay, fair enough. Now, Jacoby Brissett has the lowest total yet. And again, we haven't got a Pittsburgh quarterback yet. Maybe this is the only one that would go lower. Probably not, actually. 202.5 is Jacoby Brissett's number. Minus 113 is the total. The only thing that I could say about this game in particular, I know what everyone's predicting, George, is that the Bengals are the biggest favorite of anybody going into Sunday. I don't know if they're still 8.5, but that's what it was like 2 days ago. The only thing that I could say is that week one sometimes shocks people, expect the unexpected, and I know that dogs of 7 or more have this incredible cover rate in week one, like 70% or something insane, which no one's ever hitting 70% of anything in sports betting. So, I'm gonna lean a little toward the over just because this is so low for a quarterback like this, and they don't have a running back per se to me that's going to rush for 100 yards. So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of scenarios to me. I mean, George, what if Jacoby Brissett has 160 yards going into the fourth quarter, and Cincinnati? I'm painting a picture here, and Cincinnati is up 19-3. Which is possible. What is Brissett going to do on that drive? Throw. May not be a lot. I mean, I got to lean over here. Even though I don't like him at all, and I think he's probably bottom 2 quarterback in the NFL. This is just so low for me. I got to at least lean that way.
It's down to 7.5, by the way, since you asked. So spread came down a point without T. I mean, I can see a scenario. Once again, we know I don't think T is playing. Chase, I don't know if he's going to show up there. My guess is yes, but I don't feel great about it.
This is about New England.
I can see a game where they're not worried. New England's like, oh, listen, we're going to play this close to the vest. We don't want Jacoby to make a mistake here. All right, we don't want to turn the ball over. So
low.
I think this is a snoozer game. A snoozer game here where they're going to play boring football, and hey, we'll see where we are in the fourth quarter here. So I'm not taking the under either. It's too low, but I'm not touching it. The bottom line is this, Craig. I don't want to watch this game. Okay, I want to stay away from. I can't watch Joe Burrow game. I have no interest in watching it.
Hit the button on the red zone. That's what I'm going to be doing. I was never a red zone guy. I was always the one, George, that had all the games. When DirecTV had it, I used to watch every single game. 3 TVs and did it. And you know what, George? I don't know. Maybe it just says a lot about me. I just got tired of doing it, man. I'm just like, you know what? Whatever local game I have, that's TV one. Whatever the red zone is, that's what I got. And that's what I do, man. And I did it last year and was never happy.
We got the quad box now, man. We got the whatever games you want in the quad box.
And so you spent $700 on that thing?
I think it was $450 or something like that. Yeah.
Wow. You got paid by SportsGrid pay for that?
I'll send you an invoice. There you go.
Maybe interesting conversation to have. All right, let's take a quick time out. We'll be back with more. It is for work. You could write it off, right? What's that going to do for you? Maybe we'll get the money back somehow. All right, I don't know where I'm going with this, but we got a break.
What a chance it is for Adam Paxton and Victor Tingsham to pick up their first weekly titles. Adam Paxton, well, it's been the dream debut so far for him. For Victor Tingsham, he'll feel like this is a moment a little while coming. A place in the final up for grabs for one.
You can do it. Make that double 18 away from a place in the final.
Wesley Plaisir was beaten, knocked out by Mike Warburton in a last leg decider.
That is what they are playing for. They are playing for the trophy. They are playing for the big prize pot, and they are playing for a place in the £25,000 Champions Week.
97.
There is a point you feel that reality will surely kick in for Adam Paxton. He's here on debut. He watches the Super Series almost every single week. He was happy just to be playing in a group. This could be the leg that we talk about at the end of the night as being the one that changed the final, because Adam Paxton has just gone cold at the moment.
Bang on,
He doesn't just get 2, he gets the lot.
Adam should take it the 16 out. If not, Mike's just behind him.
Shot of the fifth leg.
Can Paxton deliver one of the biggest moments of his career so far? He can. Double 12. What a moment that is from Adam Paxton. Mike Warburton was looking at 60 to win the match.
14.
Paxton, here's your moment. He approaches the jockey with confidence, with time, and delivers. Adam Paxton on debut. The boy, the fanboy, comes to the Super Series and wins.
Welcome back to Fantasy Sports today here on Sports Grid. One of the more interesting point spreads of the week, I would say, is the next game that we're going to cover here. We'll talk about fantasy, but I do think, George, it is interesting that the Dolphins, and I know the Dolphins did not finish the season they wanted to, but the Dolphins were a really good team for the majority of the season last year. Jacksonville was not. And Miami only 3.5-point favorites this week. It seems like a strange line to me, which tells me Jacksonville's got a shot to win this game. But yeah, I mean, look, Jacksonville going into last year was thought to be better than Miami. And going into this year, they have a lot of offensive weapons again. I mean, Trevor Lawrence got paid. He is, probably not a QB1, but absolutely in a 2-quarterback league, he's starting. Etienne, RB1. Evan Engram, probably tight end 1. You could make the case Christian Kirk and Brian Thomas in some way are starting in fantasy this week. Thomas maybe as a wide receiver 3 or flex. Kirk as a wide receiver 3 or 2, and Gabe Davis, no one's starting him this week. I get that, but it's a strange game to me. Like the point spread is weird, George. If you would have told me the line was like 5, I would have said, oh, that means the Dolphins are going to win, right? They're going to win big. But because it's 3.5, it's sort of telling me that I don't know. I think I'm not rooting for this, but I think Jacksonville is going to keep this close.
It depends on what you believe in Jacksonville, right? Because everything you said there is true, right? Trevor Lawrence did not have the season last year we thought he'd have. Turned the ball over. I think it was fumbles. He had issues holding on to the football here. This team has talent. All right, we love Travis Etienne at running back here. I wish they had a true number 1 wide receiver, which they're hoping Thomas will eventually become. I don't think it's going to be this year. This team can put points up on the board, right? We know Evan Ingram catches balls by the truckload. All right, so that's Lawrence looks that way an awful lot here. Ingram's been in completely different places leaving the Giants. I don't think they win the game. I think Miami wins the game here. I think this game is going to be I think it's going over 50. So I like the over in this game. I think the Dolphins do win, but I probably prefer them more on the money line here than I do as far as giving up the points. I don't want to give that 3.5. This does feel like it could be a 27-24 game, 31-28. That's just what it feels to be. High scoring, but close. I don't think either team blows the other one out, but I do like the Dolphins.
Okay. Tua, again, QB 13. He's right on that borderline starting this week. So some people starting him, some not. Devon A-Chain, without a doubt, is RB1 in most leagues, RB2 in some others. Raheem Mostert probably starting in a number of leagues. Jonnu Smith is the Dolphins' tight end. They really don't use the tight end all that much in the McDaniel offense. Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle. I guess Waddle is the one question mark, George, because he just didn't play in the preseason, and for different reasons. He says he's good and he's ready to go. He had a cast at one point. I think he's probably fine, but and you know what? I probably have him in my fantasy lineups this week, but I'm not feeling great about it. I hope he's okay.
He's not listed on the injury report, so I guess that's good. Take it for whatever it's worth. It's an undisclosed injury. They never told us what it was, and they don't have to in preseason. And the fact that he's not on the injury report means that we still don't know what it was. But he's not there. Bottom line is this: I don't think I have him anywhere, but if I did, I'm starting him. I don't even think it'd be a thought process because he's a number 2. He's not even number 3. All right, he's probably my second wide receiver here. So he starts for me. I'll roll with it. Like I said, I think points are coming up on the board. If you have a Miami Dolphin and you're not starting him, why is that guy on your team? That's probably where I go with that. Unless it's Jalen Wright who you start hoping that, I don't want to say hoping, but if Mostert or Shane were to get hurt, then you got Jalen Wright. All right, that's a little different story there. But other than that, like I said, I can see you not starting Gabriel Davis. Once again, because of what you said, he's hit or miss. I think you made the joke before.
Way.
He's going to win you a couple of weeks somewhere along the line if you have him in your lineup. Whether or not that's going to be Sunday or not, no idea.
Yeah, not playing Gabe Davis. All right, Houston takes on Indianapolis, where, again, another strange line, I guess, so to speak. Although if you look at track record and history, the Colts have been really good in game 1s of their NFL season and really good at home, too. So this is a big test for Houston to see if they can start off with a win. Long year, though. C.J. Stroud is starting in every fantasy league for you. So is Joe Mixon, Dalton Schultz in most, Nico Collins in all, Tank Dell, Stephon Diggs in all. So it's an all hands on deck, more or less, situation with the Houston Texans this season, George, and a good environment to play in Indianapolis to start.
It's a pretty big divisional game here, right? Really for both teams. Houston playing on the road, Indianapolis, because if you want to say you're as good as Houston, well, you got to show up in this game. I think there's a lot of pressure on the Colts, Craig, because Anthony Richardson during preseason sucked. He was terrible. He was bad. I think he was so bad where if he didn't already play 5 NFL or 4+ NFL games last year, we'd be like, oh, should he be starting? Is he ready? Because he didn't look good. Just didn't look good. Now, that being said, he hasn't played in 3 weeks because, that's when the last preseason game was. So we'll see what happens here. And he was a top darling pick, by the way. 5th overall quarterback taking in a lot of leagues here, which I thought was nuts. So we'll see. Bottom line is we'll see. I like the Texans a lot. All right, I'll lay with 2.5
Really?
points. They just look like a better team. Because he just didn't look good, Richardson. I don't know what he's going to be able to do. Until I see it, I'm not going to believe it this year. I think Houston is one of the better teams. Listen, their defense isn't there, but their offense is. They can score points here as long as Diggs doesn't blow his team up, complaining about not getting the ball enough. I don't want to say they can score at will, but they're going to score points here. That being said, I'm the first person to tell you, I can guarantee you all any defensive coordinator did during the offseason was try and figure out a way to stop Stroud and slow him down. We'll see how that works on Sunday.
Yeah, not a lot of film. That's a good point George makes going into the season. Now you have a year of film on Stroud. It's a good point there. So Anthony Richardson, again, George mentioned it. He did not have a good preseason, but you drafted him high. You got to play him, see what happens. Jonathan Taylor, I really like this year. I think there's a huge year coming from him. They really don't have a tight end that starts. Pittman's starting for you. And then beyond that, the Colts really just don't have other wide receivers that you would consider. So basically, Pittman starts, Richardson starts, Taylor starts. And then, George, we're going to wait and see if Downs is a thing. Remember, we thought maybe last year he would be a thing. He really wasn't. Adonai Mitchell is there too. So more of a wait-and-see approach on the other Colts. And really easy to pick from those names right there, right? Like 3 guys, that's it.
Yeah, I agree with you about Taylor, by the way. I think he does have a monster year. Pittman's going to be dependent on what Richardson can do here. I believe Downs is out this week anyway, so I think your decisions are pretty easy there about not starting Josh Downs. I grabbed him in a couple of leagues deep. I didn't care if he started week 1. Once again, we'll see what he does as the season rolls along here. I think, Craig, with the Colts offense, outside of Taylor, I think the passing offense gets better as each week rolls along. Right, I think that's when Richardson feels more comfortable, so he'll get the ball to Pittman more. Downs will be back theoretically next week, so I like Colts as we go along.
All right, and then finally, let's take a look at the Bills and Cardinals. We'll run through this quick. Again, sort of like an all-hands-on-deck situation, although without Diggs, a little bit different for Buffalo. Josh Allen, James Cook, Dalton Kincaid. I think some leagues, Keon Coleman is starting for you. Depends on your situation there. So those are the 3 guaranteed Bills. And as far as the Cardinals are concerned, George, there's a lot of hope that they're going to be better this year. Kyler Murray's a starter for you. So is James Conner, Trey McBride, Michael Harrison. They did add Zay Jones to the mix. But, there's some people who like Dortch a little bit more than they like Jones, who we talked about earlier in the show.
Yeah, listen, I like Michael Wilson, by the way. I don't think we should forget about him either. I think points are coming Sunday. I do, so we'll keep that in mind here. And I can see people making some rash decisions, thinking they need high upside. I mean, hey, I'm sure there are thousands of fantasy leagues out there where you're going up against Lamar Jackson and Saquon Barkley, right? They had monster games, and you're already 1,000 points behind. You're like, all right, I need high upside. I'm going to roll the dice here, so I'm going to start this guy over this guy. I can see that. So we all make those decisions here where you don't want the flat points, you want the upside guy, and we'll see what happens there. So as it points are coming in this game, one of the things I'm most upset about, Craig. I don't have Dalton Kincaid anywhere. I wanted him, but so did everybody else, and they were willing to take him in round 4, round 5, and I wanted to wait. But I wish I had more Dalton Kincaid.
All right, we'll take a quick timeout on that note and come back next for a little buy or sell. We'll look at some prices in daily fantasy coming up next. You're watching Fantasy Sports Today exclusively on SportsGrid, and we'll be back right after these messages as we continue on. Don't go away.
What a chance it is for Adam Paxton and Victor Tingsham to pick up their first weekly titles. Adam Paxton, well, it's been the dream debut so far for him. For Victor Tingsham, he'll feel like this is a moment a little while coming. A place in the final up for grabs for one.
You can do it. Make that double 18 away for a place in the final.
Wesley Plaisir was beaten, knocked out by Mike Warburton in a last leg decider.
Play. That is what they are playing for. They are playing for the trophy. They are playing for the big prize pot, and they are playing for a place in the £25,000 Champions Week.
97.
There is a point you feel that reality will surely kick in for Adam Paxton. He's here on debut. He watches the Super Series almost every single week. He was happy just to be playing in a group. This could be the leg that we talk about at the end of the night as being the one that changed the final, because Adam Paxton has just gone cold at the moment.
Bang on cue.
He doesn't just get two, he gets the lot.
Adam should take out the 16 out. If not, Mike's just behind him.
Shot on the fifth leg.
Can Paxton deliver one of the biggest moments of his career so far? He can. Double 12. What a moment that is from Adam Paxton. Mike Warburton was looking at 60 to win the match. Paxton, here's your moment. He approaches the hockey with confidence, with time, and delivers. Adam Paxton on debut. The boy, the fanboy, comes to the Super Series and wins.
All right, welcome back, Fantasy Sports Today here on SportsGrid. Time for us to dive into the pricing today, and we've got some big prices to discuss. As we get ready to set our daily fantasy lineups, we thought we would do it in this segment called Buy or Sell. Let's start off. Dallas Cowboys taking on the Cleveland Browns. We got a Cowboys homer in the house. His name is George Kurtz. And Dak Prescott is his quarterback going into week one. This is just really interesting matchup. I like the way the NFL did this one. Dak Prescott is priced at 7,100 this week, George. Are you buying or selling Dak at 7,100 against Cleveland? This is low for him. I don't know if it's low for the slate in particular, just because, again, you could choose a lot of other quarterbacks too. Are you buying or selling him at 7,100?
Now you call me a Dallas Cowboy homer, although anybody who follows me and all knows, boy, do I crush the Cowboys and Dak specifically here. That being said, Dak puts up good numbers. He had the most touchdown pass in the NFL last year. All right, so he puts up good fantasy numbers here. Dak's problem has always been showing up in big games, especially big games on the road, especially big games on the road outdoors. You throw in the fact that Cleveland, you and I have discussed several times during the show, I think they're the best defense in the NFL, or top three at worst. All right, their secondary might be number one in the NFL. CeeDee Lamb didn't show up for most of camp, right? He was holding out. Two rookie offensive linemen here. Myles Garrett's going to have a lot of fun. No, that's my long-winded way of saying I'm sell. No way. It has nothing to do with me, my hatred of Dak or my dislike of Dak, whatever you want to call it. It's just not a smart play. And the upside's not there. I said earlier, I think this game's a dud. I think it's a 2017 game, something like that. I don't want to start anybody on either team in this game.
I'm going to buy Dak Prescott at 7,100. He's the third highest quarterback priced on the board. I'm going to buy this against Cleveland. It's week one. I think anything can happen. He's still got CeeDee Lamb there. To me, CeeDee is top two, if not the best wide receiver in the NFL. I do like their tight end also. I could see Rico Suave catching a couple of balls out of the backfield. I do think that this is a good price at 7,100, and I would maybe pivot away from a couple of the top guys and go there. Remember, it's a very different slate this week because, again, of the Thursday and Friday and Monday night and all these other games being played. So I am a buyer on Dak Prescott this week. I think that 260, 2 touchdowns seems fair to me for Dak. That's where he's at, 7,100. Okay, now let's get to the New Orleans Saints. Alvin Kamara, who once upon a time was the guy to play in daily fantasy every week for his pass catching ability, receptions, yards, touchdowns, etc. He is priced at $6,700 this week. He goes up against the Carolina Panthers. George, are you buying or selling $6,700 for Alvin Kamara?
Alvin Kamara, not very happy with his contract situation there, right? We heard his house was up for sale here, whatever that means in the area. That being said, you're playing Carolina, right? You can make an argument that New Orleans, now that I don't trust Cincinnati anymore, that New Orleans is an interesting pick for Survivor. Once again, how often are you going to get a chance to use them? Really depends on how good or bad you think Carolina is going to be here tomorrow or this season. That's my way of saying I don't mind going with Kamara. I think he will have a big game. I don't think there's going to be many big games for him this season. I think he is, once again, sort of hitting that wall in his career. But I think this tomorrow could be it as he wants to make a statement here. I am willing to buy in on Alvin Kamara here. So give me Kamara's a big yes. We'll buy.
Yeah, I'm going to be on the same page on this one with George. But I want to be clear. This is not a endorsement for the season on Alvin Kamara, which I do not have. But against Carolina in this game, and you look at track record against Carolina, I do think there's a chance for success here. Under 7,000 on Kamara, probably still catching passes out of the backfield. And still really, when you think about it, could probably even get red zone and goal line carries too. I mean, for everything that was said about him not having it last year, he did. So I'm not in on the season, but for this 1 week at that price, I am in. So I'm with George on that one. We disagreed on the first. I'm with you on this one. All right, now, wow, high price here for Justin Jefferson at wide receiver for the Minnesota Vikings. Sam Darnold is his buddy now. And look, this is one of those games. It's in New York against the Giants. Not really sure what to expect from the Giants. They didn't look good. By the way, not sure what to expect from Minnesota either. Buy or sell Jefferson, 8,400, George.
I have no idea what to really expect from either team here. Sam Darnold, generally in the beginning of years, is solid, right? And if you protect him, I guess we can see this of most quarterbacks, he can find the receiver here. Giants defense we know is not good. They can get at the quarterbacks, right? You traded for Burns. You have team. I mean, they should be able to get at the Darnold and make his life at least uncomfortable here. No, I'm not paying for it. That's really what I'm trying to say. I think Jefferson's going to have a decent game. I do. Giants secondary is not good. I think they'll look for him a lot, right? Addison's a little banged up here, so maybe he's not quite there. No Hawk yet. So yeah, I'm selling this. Although I just think when it goes again, I don't want to pay the money for something I don't feel great about. He's a top 3 wide receiver, price wise, coming into this week. I don't want to pay that price. I'd rather pay a couple $100 more and get Tyreek Hill, who you and I both think could have a monster game. Neither one of us would. We both took the under 97.5 for Tyreek Hill. We were both like, well, he could easily pass it though. So I'd rather go that direction and pay $300 more. Like JJ, probably need to see it first with Sam Darnold before I want to buy in on it.
Yeah, I'm with you. And Darnold's success, by the way, which George alluded to, we talked about last week too, is correct, but a lot with his legs in the first couple of games of the season. I'm a seller on this too. I think I got to go with a quarterback wide receiver option better than this. Finally, the debut of Brock Bowers, former Georgia tight end. Raiders drafted him, George, in the first round, just like they did Michael Mayer a few years ago. They didn't use Mayer. Are they going to use Bowers? $4,500 this week is his price. Buy or sell?
Yeah, he's barely in the top 10 at this point, right? So I think if you're going with Bowers, you're sort of because you need to save money here. And you want some upside. You drafted him low. You got to think he's going to be a big part of that offense. They should go double tight end set eventually with him and Mayer. How much is he going to play? How much trust does he have with Minshew here? If I need the money, I'm buying. If I don't, no, I'll go someplace else. So I'm probably selling here. I think I'll have money to get a better tight end.
Yeah, I'm going to, you know what? I'm going to go against the grain here. I'm going to buy, the Raiders finally use somebody that they drafted early and often. I got Bowers, 6 catches, 65 yards, touchdown, week 1. We'll be back to wrap it up next.
What a chance it is for Adam Paxton and Victor Tingsham to pick up their first weekly titles. Adam Paxton, well, it's been the dream debut so far for him. For Victor Tingsham, he'll feel like this is a moment a little while coming. A place in the final up for grabs for one.
You can do it. Make that double 18 away for a place in the final.
Wesley Plaisir was beaten, knocked out by Mike Warburton in a last leg decider.
Play. That is what they are playing for. They are playing for the trophy. They are playing for the big prize pot, and they are playing for a place in the £25,000 Champions Week.
97.
There is a point you feel that reality will surely kick in for Adam Paxton. He's here on debut. He watches the Super Series almost every single week. He was happy just to be playing in a group. This could be the leg that we talk about at the end of the night as being the one that changed the final, because Adam Paxton has just gone cold at the moment.
Bang on cue.
He doesn't just get two, he gets the lot.
Adam should take out the 16 out. If not, Mike's just behind him.
Shot on the fifth leg.
Can Paxton deliver one of the biggest moments of his career so far? He can. Double 12. What a moment that is from Adam Paxton. Mike Warburton was looking at 60 to win the match.
14.
Paxton, here's your moment. He approaches the jockey with confidence, with time, and delivers. Adam Paxton on debut. The boy, the fanboy, comes to the Super Series and wins.
Welcome back to Fantasy Sports Today. Did you know how good Saquon Barkley was in his first game with the Philadelphia Eagles on Friday night in Brazil? George, did you know exactly how good he was, or no? Did you know historically speaking? I'm going to tell you.
I've seen the massive tweets here about how he was fantastic. I mean, how would you like to be the Giants GM? Well, Wellington Mara is going to be, walking in going, John Mara, I'm sorry. He's going to be walking in going, I told you we should have kept him. That can't be a comfortable conversation.
All right, so let me throw it out here. He's the first Eagles running back with 3 touchdowns in a game since Boston Scott. Boston Scott? I think I played Boston Scott that game. I'm serious. I think I had Boston Scott in that game. Anyway, first Eagles running back, three since 2019. It's Barkley's first game since 2018, and he's the first player to have 3 touchdowns in his debut on Philly since Terrell Owens. I think all those things are true. Okay, all those things are true. So yeah, great debut. What can you say? He was fantastic. You have him this week. You probably won your league. You probably could just chill all weekend long and go from there. All right, now it's time for us to wrap up the show. It's time now for the Sports Grid 60.
I got to tell you, I enjoyed the football on Thursday and Friday. It was good to have football back. The games were great, entertaining, right, close down to the end. But the flags. I mean, come on. The NFL wanted to make a statement with all the illegal procedure penalties on Thursday night because the guy's a millimeter off, which I found even stranger because the NFL always wants to protect the quarterbacks. So you think they wouldn't care about the offensive line and backing up to protect these guys, right? But no, they were calling it. Then more flags last night. And all these questionable roughing the passer penalties because the guy gave him a forearm shove to the chest. That was BS. A horse collar tackle, that wasn't. I mean, it just got to be too much. For the love of God, why can't these officials be taught to, if you have any doubt, don't call it. Let it go. A penalty should only be called when it's obvious, super obvious. You just reach for the flag and you're throwing the flag up before anything else. You can't stop yourself. Fine, then call it. If you have any doubt, any thought process whatsoever, don't call it. No one wants game stops so we can hear the ref who lost his voice last night because there were so many penalties. Hey, number 18. Nobody wants to hear that. No one cares. We don't want to go big play. Oh, is there a flag on the field? We want to celebrate or commiserate or cry, whatever it might be here. Too many damn flags.
Yeah, I think that's a good point by George. The other point for me is that, you talk about 2 games opening up the season. I mentioned it earlier. We don't have the streaming numbers yet for the game Friday night on Peacock, but we know that Thursday night's opening night was the most watched NFL game for any opening night in history. So what does this mean? I mean, football still rules, folks. Like, any way you want to look at it, it is the sport right now in America that everybody is watching. So, it's, sports betting and fantasy and all those things that go along with it. I think that's predominantly the reason, but it's also a game that moves fast. They're willing to change, willing to evolve. I'm still a baseball guy at heart. I can't wait for the postseason coming up in less than a month. But so many people watching these games, it makes sense why networks like us just thrive off football content. Hey, coming up today at 9 a.m. Eastern, we've got College Football Today with Ben, Kevin, and Joe, followed by In-Game Live Game Day with Joe Ranieri and Cam Stewart. And then 4 p.m. Eastern, we've got In-Game Live Game Day with Scott Wetzel and Joe Madden tonight, Kaufman and Cannon on the evening games tonight. A lot of good games in college football on Saturday. I'm not sure George is into all that, but that's part of the conversation. So, George, Sunday's here, NFL action. What are you most looking forward to here with Week 1?
All the games. I have a great setup here. I will watch every game. They'll all be on TV, and I love my Sundays. Just love it. I want to complain about one more thing, by the way, before I get out of here.
Sure,
An extra little complaint minute. The new kickoff. You saw what teams did. Screw it. We'll just kick it to the end zone. We'll let them have it at the 30. Yeah. All right. It's right. It's exactly. It's we're not taking our chances. What? Last year they started at 25 on a touchback. This year it's the 30. Screw them. Let them have the 5 yards. Listen, you still have time to go get your chips. You'll get your drink during the kickoffs. Go to the bathroom. You're good.
Eat your chips, as George said. Put your chips all in there. All right. That will do it for the show. George, enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'll see you back here next week.
I'll be here. Right. Everybody enjoy the games here. NFL full Week 1. Here we go.
All right. That'll do it for us here on Fantasy Sports Today. Enjoy all the Sunday action. We'll be back to recap it all and preview Week 2 next week.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Let's go. Welcome to the Live Golf Team Championship. The golf has been mesmerizing. They are the Live Golf Team Champions.
Team golf is back.
Oh, yes!
Are you ready?
Let's go! That's what champions do.